when he throws it. 0-19. 13 strikeouts. The other 6 are just outs. But the hitting is what's really impressive. You never see a pitcher hit like he's hit. It's remarkable. But with that, looking on the pitching side of it, and some MLB analysts have brought this up, which is a very good point. All hitters start to figure pitchers out. You know, we can talk, well, he had bad numbers in spring training. Pitchers aren't going to show you what they have in spring training. They don't want batters to figure them out. What I want to see with Shohei Ohtani is how is he once batters start to figure him out and say, okay, this is what he likes to do. This is where he likes to place the ball. This is how he likes to throw his splitter. If he can still battle that and still get guys out with that, that's when you talk about greatness. But obviously it's a historical start. Patrick Reed won the Masters. He's being called the most hated man in golf. I'll get to that in a second. Spieth had a great charge, man. He was 9 back, and he came back and tied it there for a second. Had a chance to make it a playoff, but his ball just clipped the tree. But could you imagine? And he was doing a remarkable Sunday. Could you imagine if he would have came back from 9 down and won that? It would have been the biggest story, the biggest comeback in golf ever if he would have done it. And just to think, he was that close. He was literally the size of a freaking needle close to being able to do it. If he doesn't hit that tree, and he was just, a centimeter away from missing that tree, he probably would have been able to force a playoff. Woods finished tied for 32nd. It wasn't the story a lot of people wanted. And I think a lot of people, once they saw Woods was out of it, most of them were probably rooting for Rory, wanting to see him complete the Grand Slam, which hasn't been done since Tiger Woods did it. That would have been the story. But even though, Patrick Reed won, it's being outshined by what Spieth did. Because even though he didn't win, to have the round that he did Sunday and to come back from 9 down and make it a battle, it was remarkable. It was a phenomenal job by him. But Patrick Reed, I talk about this, the most hated man in golf. He's not very well liked. His parents were 3 miles away watching him win this. You probably saw the article on ESPN, they were crying. He is estranged from his family. He hasn't talked to them in years. We don't know the reason why. But this is a guy that when he was in college, a part of the Georgia golf team, he got accused of stealing and cheating, got kicked off of one team, almost ended up getting kicked off another. Just get it, when you get a chance, Google Patrick Reed. Learn a little bit more about him and you'll know why everybody is saying, like my boy Stu Gotts said today on the Dan Le Batard show, most hated man in golf. When Stu Gotts can't stand you, you got some problems. But he is. He just, the whole not talking to his family, shunning his family, not allowing them to come to any of his events, even the Masters. It's disturbing. And then to hear about, got caught stealing in college, got caught cheating in college, almost got caught again. He did it so bad, he got kicked off of one team, and then he almost did it so bad again that he almost got kicked off another team. But this is not a guy that is respected or liked by the players. And he is definitely not liked or respected by the fans. If you could have asked any golf fanatic who's the one guy you don't want to see win the Masters this weekend, I guarantee you at the top of everybody's card, it would have been Patrick Reed. Colts quarterback Andrew Luck blames impatience for lengthy recovery. We've talked about this before. Guys coming back too early and re-injuring themselves. We saw that with Gronkowski. We saw it with J.J. Watt. And both of them openly admitted it. Hey, I came back too early. Now Andrew Luck is saying, I tried to come back too early, and that's why I re-injured my shoulder again. And, I hope he comes back. All reports are saying he's going to be ready to go at the start of this season. The one full season that he had was back in 2014. 40 touchdown passes. That's when they got blew out by the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. But I've always had mixed emotions on this guy. He was hailed as the next Peyton Manning, the next Tom Brady. He's had one full season. That was 2014. Yes, he had great numbers. Hasn't done much since. On the other side of that, he's had a high interception percentage. But I really do hope that he comes back and does well. I really do. I want to see him come back, turn that organization around, get them back to how they were in 2014 when he was healthy. And I really hope, because he's a great guy, he's a student of the game. He's been working his ass off to get back. Even though I don't like the Colts or Andrew Luck, I really do want to see him do well and succeed. Because a lot of people would right now, even though it's been injury related, would consider him a bust. If I told you that right now at Andrew Luck's point in his career, he would not have a Super Bowl ring. When he got drafted, and after that 2014 season, if I would have told you that in 2018 Andrew Luck would still not have a Super Bowl ring, most of you would probably not take that bet. But at the same time, he can't do it by himself. They're not, even with him healthy next season, they're not a Super Bowl team. It's like the Packers with Rodgers. You have one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league, and he only has one Super Bowl ring. He only has one ring. Do more for him. Get him more players. The Colts need to do that with Luck. First thing is going to be the offensive line. But get him some help. Get him a running game. Get him an offensive line. Get him 2 receivers. But I really hope he can come back next season and stay healthy and do well. Well, it's a tight battle in the Western Conference playoffs, and all these teams play tonight. New Orleans, 5 seed. San Antonio, 6 seed. Thunder, 7th seed. Minnesota, 8th seed. Denver, right now tied with Minnesota for 8th, but Minnesota owns the tiebreaker. There's only 2 games left, and all these teams play tonight. Thunder, Miami. Memphis, Minnesota. Sacramento, Spurs. Clippers, New Orleans, 10:30 on ESPN. Blazers, Nuggets. If the Thunder do miss the postseason, it will be the most talented team to ever miss the postseason. Westbrook, George, Anthony, Adams. And it's a possibility because, again, you look at it, 5th through 9th place is separated by only 1 game. 5th place through 9th place is separated by only 1 game. And there's only 2 games left. So depending on who wins tonight could be a really deciding factor on who gets that 8th and final seed. Well, we're 17 days away from the draft. You still have more people talking what's going to happen. We don't know. You're just going to have to wait and see. I've heard some people that they believe that there is going to be some type of blockbuster trade within the first 10 picks that nobody is really talking about right now. It's not going to involve Odell Beckham. It may involve Dez Bryant and the Cowboys, but a lot of people are believing that there's going to be some type of blockbuster trade within the first 10 picks. I've had some people tell me that they think that the Bills are going to try to trade up with the Giants and grab that second pick to grab a quarterback. I expect the Browns to take Darnold at 1. But other than that, it's a toss-up. Because like I said before, no team is going to go on ESPN or NBC or wherever, or Fox, and say, yeah, this is, you know what, here, let me give you my blueprint. This is who we really like. This is who we really don't like. This is where we're looking at picking them. They're not going to say that. You know, that's why I don't understand why people even bother asking, well, what do you plan on doing with your second overall pick? Who do you really like? Okay, yeah, because I want the 31 other teams to know who I want to pick or to know what I want to do. I told you guys this before, I'll tell you again. Everything you hear between now and draft day is a lie. Is a absolute bull-faced lie. Just like the Jets saying that, oh, we know that the Patriots are really, really interested in Baker Mayfield. No, they're not. Come on, man. Do you really think that the Patriots are going to draft Baker Mayfield? No. I do think they'll take a quarterback, but I stand by what I've said when this whole thing started. I think next to Sam Darnold that Mason Rudolph is the best quarterback available in this draft. And I think in the second round, that's who the Patriots are going to go after. Because I do think they'll take a quarterback in this draft, but it's not going to be first round. Well, a report says that Belichick ripped Gronk in front of teammates for using the TB12 method. It seems like everybody just wants the Patriots to be over. Do we need to remind people that Brady played in the Super Bowl, should have won it, and won the MVP at 40 years old last year? They're not going anywhere. Now, people have asked, well, where do you think Brady's going to... I don't think he's going to play past 43. I don't. I said that when he beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl because people swore up and down, oh, this is it. He's going to get to the podium and he's going to hang it up. This is going to be a swan song. This is going to be it. He wants number 6, folks. Belichick wants number 6. We know going back from when they won their first Super Bowl against the Rams, him and Belichick have never been friends. They just coexist and work very well. But the whole TB12 stuff and Belichick not wanting other players to use it, well, Gronk used it last year, and it's the only year he hasn't gotten hurt in the last 3. And need I remind you, when Brady won the Super Bowl against Atlanta, he didn't have Gronk. Didn't have him. When they played against Seattle, up into the Super Bowl, he didn't have him. He had him in that Super Bowl, but not up until that point. And what has Belichick and Brady proved time and time again? We will let you walk out this door and we will find another guy just as better as you to replace you. And it might not be a guy that anybody else knows, but if it fits our system, we will make it work. I don't get in the whole politics thing. I don't care if Belichick really did rip Gronk, these reports, blah, blah, blah. This is ever since 2000, ever since the dynasty started, people have wanted every reason possible to say that the Brady-Belichick Patriots dynasty is coming to an end. Everybody wants the Patriots to turn into the Browns. It's not going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if they get right back to the Super Bowl. Some people like to argue that there was a lot of tension in New England after that Super Bowl loss because a lot of people feel that Belichick intentionally lost that Super Bowl. He didn't intentionally lose that Super Bowl, people.